No, no, not at all. I think honestly, it's just the way things played out, the cards that were at hand.
I really believe they just wanted to shut me up. I'm saying there's a lot of hate in boxing.
Comes Shakur now lands a couple more. And 1 round to go.
After returning from the hospital, Teofimo Lopez retaliates against judges and Shakur. He maintains that his body shots were successful and that the referee and judges failed to notice crucial moments, claiming the fight was anything but fair. From his hospital bed to the media, Teofimo depicted injustice, denouncing Shakur's strategies and blaming officials of depriving him of what he felt was a legitimate win. His impassioned return words and scathing accusations have fans talking.
I was catching him a lot with the body shots a lot, so I think that was one of my effective arsenals that was getting him every time. But I think just more combinations, especially finish with left hooks and stuff.
Teofimo Lopez's father didn't mince words and got right to the point, accusing the referee of bias and asserting that his son is the target of hate speech in boxing. He argued that the authorities disregarded Teofimo's sentencing, stating unequivocally that his son had harmed Shakur and should have been treated with greater decency. Fans are furious because they see this as an unvarnished father standing up for his fighter and denouncing what he perceives to be a heist in the ring.
I don't know what the other two referees were looking at, you know what I'm saying? But you got to beat the champ to be the champ, and my son hurt that boy.
Eddie Hearn criticizes Teofimo Lopez's circus. Sr., highlighting how out of control his assertions have gotten. Hearn's response reveals the ridiculousness of Teofimo Sr.'s outrageous complaints against judges and Shakur, which are unsupported by the fight. It's obvious that the Lopez camp is looking for ways to turn post-fight annoyance into shame and focus more on their failure than any actual wrongdoing.
Well, to be honest with you, I don't like that stuff if I'm honest, but Teofimo's Teofimo. You could never control him, you can never predict what he's going to do or say.
Duke McKenzie didn't hesitate to thoroughly refute his post-fight assertions. He told everyone that Teofimo is not at the elite level and called it pitiful. He was obviously out of his element when facing Shakur Stevenson. When you observe the skill gap in the ring, all accusations of bias or cheating are refuted. It wasn't a robbery. A masterclass was held. Furthermore, Teofimo's justifications just serve to emphasize how outclassed he was.
They said, and everybody knows, he's not a real boxer. There's levels to this game, and he was way out of his level, way out of his depth.
Chaos Sonnen is very honest in his critique of Temo's performance. He explains how Lopez, obviously cautious of Shakur's counterattacks, ran for the majority of the fight in an attempt to establish distance before hesitating to completely engage. Teofimo was compelled to enter a reactive state after he was unable to escape the conversations. Sonnen's study reveals the reality. This has nothing to do with cheating or judging. It was about losing to a more skilled, knowledgeable, and well-rounded combatant.
He was running away. He was trying to get distance. Then he was trying to step in to win this athletic competition, and then he's trying to get out of the way so that he doesn't get hurt again. He was fighting. Then it turns to where he can't stay away anymore, so now he's got to go the...
Teofimo Lopez's grim life is brought to light by AOL. Shakur Stevenson dominated, not just prevailed. Teo's strength was useless as Stevenson used precise blows to punish any mistake he made, bullying him from both the front and the rear. Shakur capitalized masterfully each time Teofimo overcommit or stumbled, demonstrating the kind of technical mastery and ring IQ that renders justifications regarding referees or judges entirely meaningless.
And Shakur just bullied him, outboxed him on the back foot, outboxed him on the front foot. Every time Teo came in and kind of tripped himself, going over his front foot, the punches and bunches and just the single shots were just beautiful from Shakur Stevenson.
Teofimo had trouble even getting into position, as the Wade idea explains. All of Lopez's moves fell into Stevenson's hands because he was stifled by Shakur's jab, unable to cut the ring, and kept venturing into danger. He lapsed into familiar patterns rather than adapting, giving Shakur the impression that the battle was simple. Bias was not the issue here. It was a superior, well-thought-out fighter's total tactical destruction.
Real trouble getting to Shakur Stevenson. He could not get past the lead hand. The jab was stifling him. He was having trouble cutting the ring. He was having trouble getting to the outside foot. This was an orthodox southpaw matchup where Teofimo needed to step to his left to try to push the lead hand away or at least get head off center line if he wanted to throw his right hand. Instead, he was doing the opposite, and Shakur was taking the outside track. Teo was stepping on the inside lane and then fading to his right side, right into the left hand of Shakur Stevenson, which, by the way, in the first round, Shakur didn't really even throw a backhand. It was just jab.
Teofimo's difficulty even getting into position is explained by the Wade notion. Every move Lopez made went straight into Stevenson's hands because he was stifled by Shakur's jab, unable to cut the ring, and constantly putting himself in danger. Rather of adapting, he settled into ruts that made Shakur's battle appear effortless. Bias wasn't the issue here. It was a thorough tactical breakdown by a more experienced, strategic combatant.
You know, Shakur just got a great boxing mind. You know, that's just it. He's got a great boxing mind, and you want to see put his mind to it, he's going to get the job done.
What is it going to take to beat someone like him?
I don't know, Brian. Probably want to stay away from.
Shakur Stevenson's performance is aptly summed up by Eddie Hearn. He appeared strong, accurate, and completely in control. He demonstrated all facets of his boxing, including his powerful blows, precise jab, music, perfect footwork, timing, and extreme fitness. This was more than just a victory. It served as an example of what makes Stevenson a full-fledged combatant. When you witness a man performing at such a high level, all the hype and post-fight allegations about Teofimo Lopez fall apart. There was no place for justifications since skill, intelligence, and poise made the difference.
Looked strong, you know, Shakur looked like he was punching very hard. His jab was on point, his footwork was incredible, it's his timing, it's his fitness.
Teofimo Lopez receives a sobering reality check from Daniel Jacobs. Sometimes preparation and skill are more important than heart, recommending that he attach balls to the wall. Jacobs emphasizes that it takes more than just effort to defeat a better fighter like Shakur. It requires timing, accuracy, and flexibility. Teofimo's inability to match Stevenson's skill level in the ring highlights the discrepancy between reality and perception. That gap cannot be filled by a judge, referee, or conspiracy. Lopez's post-fight accusations seem baseless because the outcome of this fight is determined by raw skill and strategic acumen.
Yeah, I definitely did. I feel like he's a fighter, so he tried to fight back. But yeah, I picked him apart. In the second round, I want to say that I told my corner, I said, I'm stronger than he is.
Did you feel like you hurt him at any point in the fight?
Yeah, for sure. I hurt him a couple times. My jab, my left hand to the body, my left hand up top.
Shakur is praised by Clarissa Shields. Stevenson's tactical acumen, highlighting his capacity to combine agility and successful strategy. Precise single shots and body jabs predominated. Stevenson's clinical efficacy was demonstrated by Teofimo Lopez, who even took blood. Shields' response highlights the distinction between hype and reality. When the superior fighter systematically controls every moment, Teofimo's complaints are moot. Stevenson demonstrated why he is regarded as one of the most comprehensive and knowledgeable fighters in the division today by putting up a flawless, textbook performance.
I know boxing, and like I told y'all, we was gonna see a little bit of athleticism, but we was gonna see Shakur be using his jab, going to the body, and we saw blood today. Shakur did great today. Only thing I can ask for is stopping. I can't ask for nothing else.
Teofimo Lopez receives a sobering reality check from Daniel Jacobs. Sometimes preparation and skill are more important than heart. Jacobs tells him to put everything on the line, emphasizing that it takes more than just effort to defeat a better fighter like Shakur. It requires timing, accuracy, and flexibility. The disparity between perception and reality is made clear by Teofimo's incapacity to match Stevenson's skill set in the ring. That discrepancy cannot be reconciled by a judge, referee, or conspiracy. Lopez's post-fight accusations appear baseless because the outcome of this fight was decided by pure skill and strategic acumen.
What Teofimo?
Hey yo, sometimes you just gotta grab your nuts and you just gotta put balls to the wall, unfortunately. But that's just what it is. And sometimes when you think you can keep up with a boxer that's superior.
Coach Wallali's compliments accurately capture the situation. Shakur Stevenson is more than simply a fighter. At 140 pounds, he is currently establishing an unassailable legacy. His cunning, timing, and ruthless efficiency were evident in every round. He declared that Teofimo Lopez's post-hospital return and accusations are completely irrelevant. Stevenson's tidy, commanding work speaks louder than any tantrum, while Teo lashes out at judges, referees, and being robbed. Legacy is earned rather than given. And Shakur shown tonight why he is deserving of the #1 spot. This was not just a victory. Hype, egos, and justifications were dismantled. If Timo believed that his return to the hospital would make him relevant once more, Stevenson simply served as a reminder of who is in charge.
And I'm very excited. I said this was another legacy fight for him, and
Absolutely.
he got a chance to, establish his legacy once again, winning another title at 140 pounds. So I'm very enthusiastic about his future and very proud of his performance.
The obvious shortcomings in Teofimo Lopez's strategy from the first round are shown by Bruce Carrington's examination. Teo was an easy target for Stevenson's countermeasures due to his predictable behaviors and poor location. Going to the southpaw, turning square, and doubling up the right hand. It was all ineffective against a fighter of Shakur's level of skill. He was able to dominate with ease thanks to his timing, ring IQ, and reflexes. Despite this, Teo keeps complaining and accusing judges and referees of allowing what was obviously a skill disparity. This was a clinic, not a robbery. There are no justifications for Shakur's dominance, which emphasizes how Lopez's post-hospital hysteria and outbursts conflict with reality. Every attempt Teo made to get near or land a shot was greeted with accuracy, demonstrating the stark reality that skill, not complaining, determines fights at this level.
Man, he made it easy. I was saying, if Teo was to fight more on a back foot and throw punches when Shakur throws, that's the only time you're going to get Shakur. But Teo, he has a habit of getting out of position all the time. He'll double up his right hand, turn square, or turn southpaw. That's not gonna work, bro. You're not gonna take up enough space to touch Shakur. And Shakur's reflexes and his countering was just keeping Teo at bay. It was an easy night from round 1 for him. Shakur got the dub.
Bruce Carrington's analysis highlights Teofimo Lopez's approach's obvious shortcomings. Teo was a simple target for Stevenson's counters from the first round due to his placement mistakes and dependable routines. Going to the southpaw, turning square, and doubling up the right hand. It was all ineffective against a fighter of Shakur's level of skill. He was able to dominate with ease thanks to his timing, ring IQ, and reflexes. Nevertheless, Teo keeps complaining, accusing judges and referees of being responsible for what was obviously a skill mismatch. This was a clinic, not a robbery. Shakur's supremacy eliminates all opportunity for justifications, emphasizing the contradiction between Lopez's post-hospital hysteria and outbursts and reality. Every effort, Teomade's attempt to land a shot in close range was greeted with accuracy, demonstrating the brutal reality that talent, not complaining, is what decides fights at this level.
Always my guy, but I've always been a fan of Shakur, and I think that Shakur put on a clinic tonight. Least amount of risk, been able to put his skill set into fruition all night. The jab was leading. You can tell the difference in skill set, and that was the difference to me that made the fight. It wasn't about grit, it wasn't about heart, it was about sheer talent. And Shakur.
Bruce Carrington's analysis highlights Teofimo Lopez's approach's obvious shortcomings. Teo was a simple target for Stevenson's counters from the first round due to his placement mistakes and dependable routines. Turning square, doubling the right hand, or even swapping to the southpaw. It was all ineffective against a fighter of Shakur's level of skill. His timing, reflexes, and IQ allowed him to rule with ease. Despite this, Teo keeps complaining and accusing judges and referees of causing what was obviously a skill mismatch. This was a clinic, not a robbery. There are no justifications for Shakur's dominance, which emphasizes how Lopez's post-hospital hysteria and outbursts conflict with reality. Every effort Teo made to get near or make a shot was met with accuracy, displaying talent, the harsh reality, and refraining from moaning aside from battles at this level.
Did you make of it? At the end of the day, if you look at interviews before the fight, I was saying that, something looked off about him. He looked like he just wasn't really focused on the fight. He said my name before the fight, more than he even said.
The obvious shortcomings in Teofimo Lopez's strategy from round 1 are shown by Bruce Carrington's examination. Teo was an easy target for Stevenson's countermeasures due to his predictable behaviors and poor location. Turning square, doubling the right hand, or even swapping to the southpaw. It was all ineffective against a fighter of Shakur's level of skill. He was able to dominate with ease thanks to his timing, ring IQ, and reflexes. Despite this, Teo keeps complaining and accusing judges and referees of allowing what was obviously a skill disparity. This was a clinic, not a robbery. There are no justifications for Shakur's dominance, which emphasizes how Lopez's post-hospital hysteria and outbursts conflict with reality. Every effort Teo made to get near or make a shot was met with accuracy. Fighting at this level is decided by talent, honesty, and not whining.